Welcome back. Today I'm taking a look at another flashlight from Fenix. This is the TK05R tactical flashlight. Let's check it out. And this is everything the TK05 comes with. I'll give you guys a nice look at the box right there. Lumens and Runtime information on the back. And it comes with a nylon holster here. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of these types of holsters. So you got the belt loop in the back, Velcro in the front, and I'll give you a look at what it looks like inside of this holster right there. Pretty skinny. No, I'm not the biggest fan of these types of nylon holsters, but overall, it's not that terrible. It also comes with an adjustable lanyard right here. Very nice. Also, here's your Type A to Type C charging cable, spare O-ring, your user manual, some product information, and your warranty card. So let's take the TK05R out of the holster, throw everything off to the side, and I'll give you guys a nice look at the brand new TK05R. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. All right, so the Fenix TK05R has a maximum output of 1,000 lumens, a maximum throwing distance of 450 meters, and a max intensity of 50,600 candela. And pushing out those 1,000 lumens is a single Osram CSL PM1.TG LED with a lifespan of about 50,000 hours. It has a total of 4 modes, 3 brightness levels plus strobe, and everything is controlled with dual tail switches. And inside is a Fenix branded 3.6 volt 1100 milliamp hour 18350 rechargeable battery, and is charged with a USB Type-C charging port right near the head. The body's made from 6061 T6 aluminum and has a matte black Type 3 hard anodized finish. The dust and waterproof rating is IP68. The 6 means it's completely dustproof, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water and has a 2-meter impact resistance. Plus, it comes with a limited lifetime warranty straight from Fenix. All right, let's talk dimensions. It has a length of 4.53 inches, a head diameter of 1.26 inches, and a body diameter of 0.93 inches. And now let's give it a quick weigh. Comes in at 4.4 ounces, and in grams, that's 124 grams. And yes, I'm weighing it with the battery in it and the pocket clip on it. And what exactly is the TK05R? Well, Fenix is branding this as a portable tactical / EDC flashlight. And that term kind of bugs me a little bit. I know what they're going for, a portable tactical flashlight that you can carry every day. But lately, what I've been wanting in my flashlights is one or the other, either an everyday carry flashlight or a tactical style flashlight. Yes, I know there's advantages of combining everything into one, but honestly, when you start combining everything into one, it doesn't really do one thing perfectly. The time I've spent with the TK05R has been pretty good. It has a maximum output of 1,000 lumens, and that might seem low by today's standards, but that's just because other companies jack up the lumen output just to say that they can get 10,000 lumens out of their flashlight, while only giving you about 10 seconds at that 10,000 lumens. So does Fenix do that here with the 1,000 lumens? I haven't done a heat and turbo test yet. I'll do that live on camera in this video. But when I've been using this on high, that 1,000 lumens, I don't really see a step down, at least to the naked eye. But where the TK05 really shines is that 450 meter throw. That's 1,476 feet of throw. Now that is a decent throw, and that has a lot to do with that smooth reflector pushed way back. You can see that Osram LED sitting way back in that reflector there. And if you guys were wondering, this is actual glass on that lens, so that's really nice. And I'll try to give you a look right down the barrel there. Now, I don't know the exact color temperature on this LED, but to me, it looks to be about 4,000 Kelvin. I could be off on that, though. Meaning it doesn't look too cool and doesn't look too warm to me. So I'm guessing about 4,000. Also, while I'm here at the head, I'll give you a look at that crenellated striking bezel. If they're marketing this as a portable tactical flashlight, it absolutely has to have a striking bezel, and this one's not that bad. Let me see if I can twist off that bezel, and it looks like it could come off, but yeah, I don't think so. And I do like the small size of the TK05R here. It's only 4.53 inches in length, but because it's so small, it does have a heat issue when you're using high for any given amount of time. And like I said, I haven't done the heat test yet, but just holding it in my hands, that heat really has nowhere to go with such a small body, and you can see my hands also have nowhere to go. So after about 2 straight minutes of having this flashlight on high, it did get fairly hot, and I'm really curious to see the exact temperatures on this. And then heading right down the body, there is a rubber flap that hides the USB Type-C charging port right there. And then on the opposite side of the body is a battery life indicator that is a boot up battery life indicator that goes out after about 3 or 4 seconds. It also shows you when the battery is charging. It'll glow red when you have it plugged in. Then when it's fully charged, it'll glow green, so I like that. On the actual body here, some nice texturing, as you can see if I get in real close. So this feels pretty nice in the hands as long as you're holding it back this far, which once again I'll talk about a little bit later when I go over the heat and how you have to hold this thing. But anyways, right next to that, we have a deep carry pocket clip. That is a lens down deep carry pocket clip, and it's not fully deep carry. You can see, I don't know, about a 1/4 inch is going to stick up right above your pockets there. And it's also a split ring removable pocket clip, so you can see it comes right off, so that's great. And then at the tail, you got 2 spots to put your lanyard and your dual tail switches. On top is the on-off button, and this is the function button. So obviously this turns on the flashlight, and you can change your brightness levels just by single tapping that function button. But I'll go over that in a little bit when I go over the UI. Now, I know I already mentioned the battery, but it's really interesting that they went with a 18350 battery in this flashlight. It's interesting why they decided on an 18350 and not something bigger like an 18650 battery. Yes, that would make the flashlight a little bit longer, but honestly, I think it could stand it here. It's only an 1100 milliamp hour battery, so that's gonna give you a little bit shorter run times than you're used to with a 1000 lumen flashlight. Oh, and before I put that battery back in there, it does sit on a dual spring system here, so I really like that. I love to see dual spring systems when you're talking about a tactical style flashlight. That way you don't get any light interruptions if this light accidentally gets jostled, because that battery sits on a spring and will never lose connection, so I like that a lot. Also, before I move on, I just want to talk about the quality of these tail switches. Fenix always has really nice feeling switches on their flashlights. These are rubberized tail switches, and they are fairly clicky. You can hear that right there. That is the on-off button, and the function button, yeah, almost silent. It does have a little bit noise to it right there, but fairly silent. And because of the design of the TK05R, you can see that on-off switch sticks up over the tail cap right there. So unfortunately, you can't tail stand it. I love a flashlight, tactical or everyday carry, that you can tail stand, and unfortunately, this just doesn't do it. That will always and forever be a negative in my book. A lot of you guys don't care about it, but for me, it's a big deal. All right, now let's talk about the lumens and runtime. So you have 3 brightness levels plus strobe. Low is 30 lumens, has a runtime of 14 hours and 30 minutes, 75 meters of throw, and an intensity of 1450 candela. Medium, the sweet spot, is 350 lumens, which is great, but what's not so great is that 1 hour and 45 minute runtime. That is low for 350 lumens, and that is directly related to that small 18350 battery inside. But it has a nice throwing distance of 260 meters with 17,000 candela. And then let's go to high. 1000 lumens, has a runtime of 50 minutes with an asterisk right there. You guys know I will talk about that. 450 meter throw, and 50,600 candela. It also has a maximum 1000 lumen strobe, which I love that. Strobe should absolutely be the maximum lumen output of the flashlight, so that's good. So realistically, the mode spacing here is fine, especially since there's only 3 brightness levels, low, medium, and high. 30 to 350 to 1000, that's fine. But let's talk about that 50-minute runtime with the asterisk right there. So I'll throw up this graph straight from the Fenix website. So you can see it instantly starts to drop from that 1000 lumen mark, and it hits right around 400 lumens at about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And then it stays there for a while, and then it drops again very sharply after about an hour. Now, I'm not going to test this flashlight for an hour, but I might just test it for about 10 minutes to see what happens with that drop off there. Now let's talk about the UI, but really, do I have to? It's just so simple. You guys probably already know how to do it, and we'll skip over this section. But for those who don't know, this is the on-off button right here, and a half press for momentary and a full press click for constant on. And once it's on, just single click that function button to cycle through your 3 brightness levels, low, medium, and high. Strobe warning, press and hold for about a half second for strobe. And that's basically it. Full press to turn it off. And when it's off, if you press the function button again, strobe warning, it'll go instantly to strobe. And yes, it does have a memory. So you can see I left it off on high. So there's low, medium, turn it off. Turn it right back on, it goes right back to high. So those are your tactical features right there, because I can put it right on high, turn it right back on. There's your instant access to 1000 lumens and your instant access to strobe. There is no button press lockout. If you want to lock out this flashlight, just give the head a little quarter turn and locked out. All right, so now for the beam test. Here I am in my backyard. So just so you guys know, this is the next night. So I recorded my video last night, and when I came out here to do the beam test, the audio was all messed up. So I had to wait for tonight to actually redo this. So let's start on low. This is 30 lumens, and if I pan across my lawn here, you can see I'm easily hitting that barn right there and easily hitting that tree. And I'll put up a distance, like always, between me and that tree and me and that barn. So here you can sort of see that color temperature. Like I said, I estimated about 4,000 Kelvin. It might be about 44, 4,500 Kelvin now that I'm looking at it. But gives you a nice idea of that pretty bright hot spot right there. Fairly bright hot spot. And you can see the beam perimeter. Very crispy outer edge right there. Not a very floody beam at all. If I hold this still and move the camera, you see that right there. But this isn't meant to be a flutter. This is meant to be a somewhat of a thrower. It's not necessarily, I still wouldn't consider 450 meters a thrower, but it's decent. I'm even hitting those trees back there behind the barn, but there's low. Let's go to the sweet spot, 350 lumens. Wow. There we go. This is where I spend most of my time right here, 350 lumens. And it's kind of a bummer. You only get about an hour and 45 minutes of runtime at 350 lumens. It has a lot to do with that tiny 18350, but I'll talk about that at the end of this video. So very intense hotspot once again, right dead center. Now let's go to 1000 lumens. Wow. So we're going to get about 50 seconds here. I would say about 50 seconds of maximum brightness. Then it's going to start stepping down based on my heat and turbo test that I did last night. But look at that. Easily hitting that barn. Easily hitting those trees back there. Look at that beam. Check that out, man. I don't see any eyes staring at me today. Usually when I'm back here, I get a bunch of either raccoon eyes, deer eyes, coyote, whatever it might be back here. But I don't see anything. I need to take care of that pile. But I'm already starting to feel the heat. See how I'm holding it right there? Starting to feel the heat on my fingers just based on the size of this body. But that's basically it. Low, medium, and high. Low, medium, and high. And hopefully it gives you guys a nice idea of what to expect if you guys get this bad boy. So let's move on to the next area, which I already recorded last night. I'm sure this beam is exactly what you guys expected it to look like, especially with the numbers 1,000 lumens and 450 meters of throw. That 50,600 candela are concentrated into a tight little hot spot, then you have a perfectly round, very sharp beam perimeter. But that being said, it's still a very, very impressive flashlight. Anytime you see a flashlight that boasts 450 meters of throw, it's pretty impressive. 1,000 lumens, not so much. Like I said before, you see that all the time these days. It's pretty common. But honestly, with a flashlight like this, you don't need any more than 1,000 lumens. So I think the beam profile for the TK05R is pretty darn good. And Fenix claims this is a tactical flashlight for patrolling, searching, tactical operations, and emergencies. And realistically, Fenix nailed it. I wouldn't really recommend this flashlight to anything other than what I just mentioned there. An everyday carry flashlight, sure, maybe not for me, but I can see a lot of people carrying this every day. Why? Because of the small size. Why wouldn't I carry it every day? Because I really don't like those concentrated, very bright, concentrated hotspots in my everyday carry flashlights. This is why I said I wanted a separation between EDC and tactical. For my everyday carry flashlights, I like a nice, evenly spread, floody beam. And for my tactical flashlights, I like exactly what you guys just saw right here outside. So as a portable tactical flashlight for patrolling or emergencies or searching, absolutely. For everyday carry, not so much. As a tactical flashlight, I like that it has instant access to the 1,000 lumens and instant access to strobe, and a fairly simple UI with just 3 brightness levels and strobe. That's it. Now, what I don't like about the TK05R is the runtime, especially on that medium 350 lumens, 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's not so great, and that has a lot to do with this small 18350 battery here, that you're really not going to get the greatest of runtimes with this. And the problem here is you get the maximum runtimes and the best performance if you have this exact battery from Fenix. Also, because it's such a small compact flashlight, when you have it on high for any given amount of time, it starts to get pretty hot in your hands. And according to my thermal image, a lot of that heat is right here around this band, right around the USB Type-C charging port, which is really close to where you have to hold it just because it's so small. So I'll say it again, I wish it had an 18650 battery in it to give a little bit longer runtime and just to make it a little bit longer and get your hand away from that hot spot there. But if you're not using that 1,000 lumen high for 2 or 3 minutes, you should be okay, especially for someone like me. I like to use that 350 lumen mode, and it really doesn't reach anywhere near those temperatures that you saw on that 1,000 lumen mode. So at $79.95, do I recommend the TK05R? Yes, if you want to use this as a small portable tactical flashlight for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. What is it? Patrolling, searching, tactical operations, and emergencies. If you want to rock this as an EDC flashlight, for me personally, I couldn't recommend it. But as a small tactical thrower, yes, I can definitely recommend the TK05R. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Fenix TK05R? If you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!